Very good afternoon to one and all. This is Dr. Pranay Dute, and today we are going to uh, see or we can today our topic is the petrology. Today our topic is the petrology, which is a part of your BSc second semester honors course, and this one is known as the heart of the geology because petrology is known as the study of rocks. The objective behind this study is to know about what kind of different rocks are present there, and what is the different kind of, you can say, the what kind of rocks are there, and what is the process behind formation of this rock. So basically, petrology is defined as the study of rocks. Petrology is nothing but a study of rocks. If you see this definition in a very detailed one, so what the petro means rock, logy means study. Petro means rock, logy means study. So you have a study of rocks. You have a study of rock. In previous lectures, what we seen a different kind of different kind of branches of geology. So geology is the study of earth. Basically, geology is the study of earth. Then you have branches of geology, different branches of geology, and petrology is one of them. Petrology is one of them. This is a branch of geology deal with the various aspects of rock. Okay, so petrology is a branch of geology that deals with the study of rock and their origin, association, occurrences, mineral composition, chemical composition, texture, structure, physical properties of rock. So these all are the what we can say the study which comes under the petrology. Okay. Then how we define the rock? So petrology is the study of rock. So how you can define and what is the definition of rock? So rock is defined as the natural substance and solid aggregate of one or more mineral. A solid aggregate of one or more mineral is known as your rock. Okay, so rock is nothing but a natural substance. It should be a natural. You cannot make rocks in a factory. You cannot have magma, you cannot have lava, and which will be solidify and cool in a factories, and you can have a industrial rock. It's not happen. Okay, so that, yes, this will be also happen, but that will be another term and another things to discuss. So rock is defined as a solid aggregate of one or more mineral. A solid aggregate of one or more mineral is known as rock. Then you have a two different type of study which will be carried out on rock. One is petrography and one is petrogeny. One is petrography and one is petrogeny. So what is petrography? Petrography is a deal with the descriptive part of rock. Petrography deals with the descriptive part of rocks, whereas petrogeny deal with the mode of formation of rock. Petrography deal with the descriptive part of rock, whereas the petrogeny deal with the mode of formation of rock. This is a two different what we can say. This is the two different branches of the petrography or petrology. Petrography and petrogeny. Petrography and petrogeny, which is the two different part of the your what we can say the petrology. Then you have a classification of rock. Once you have a rock, so rock is nothing but your aggregate of mineral or aggregate of different particles or all. So now rock is formed by the geological process, physical process, and chemical process. So geologically, rock is defined into the three different part or three different rocks type. Basically, what we can say. What that rocks are? That rocks are igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. Okay, igneous rock, sedimentary rock, and metamorphic rock. So this is the three different type of rock. Now we are more focused in this lecture. We are talking about the igneous rock. How igneous rock form, what kind of the process has been operating behind the igneous rock, and what is the primary rock, or what is the process which is operating behind this rock. So igneous rock are the primary rock which are formed due to the cooling and solidification of magma. Why it is called as a primary rock? Because the melting of the magma or melting of the existing rock has created your igneous rock. Melting of the magma or melting of the this one is create your igneous rock. Magma is a hot viscous siliceous made containing water vapor and gases. Magma is hot viscous siliceous made containing a water vapor and gases. Magma comes out from the greater depth below the earth's surface. Such magma is called as a lava. So when you have a magma which will be comes out from the greater depth below the earth's surface, such as called as a magma, lava. So there is a very basic or thin line between the magma and lava. Whether these two are different in a chemical composition, no. Chemically, it has been a same more or less composition, but the thing is changing is the when it is in a subsurface, it is called as a magma. When this hot molten material is in subsurface, it is called as a magma. When it is on a surface, it is called as a lava. When it is on a surface, it is called as a lava. So this is the basic difference between magma and lava. This is the basic difference between magma and lava. Okay. So now we are going to see the classification which is more focused on a igneous rock. Next lectures we will see about the sedimentary and metamorphic rock and all. Now for today's lecture, what we are going to focus on, we are going to focus on your igneous rock. What is the igneous rock and how we can classify the igneous rock. So now igneous rock is classified between the intrusive and extrusive rock. Igneous rocks are classified on extrusive and intrusive rock, which is a intrusive rock is nothing but the rock which is formed on a subsurface. Intrusive rock which is formed in a subsurface is called as an intrusive rock. The rock which is formed above the surface is known as the extrusive rock. The rock which is formed above the surface is known as extrusive rock. So intrusive and extrusive, two different kind of rocks are there. Then you have a hypabasal and plutonic, two different kind of rocks. In the intrusive rock, you have two different kind of rock. One is hypabasal and one is plutonic. One is hypabasal and one is plutonic. So you have an extrusive rock in which you have a volcanic rock. So volcanic rock are those rock which is formed above the surface, which form above the surface. So that one is known as the extrusive rock. Intrusive rock are those rock which is formed in the subsurface. In the subsurface. So basically, these two classification are basic on the basis of only the height. On the basis of height. Now, what we have, you have a petrology. You have a petrology. In petrology, we study the igneous rock. Now, igneous rock is classified into the igneous, intrusive igneous rock and extrusive igneous rock. You have an intrusive igneous rock and extrusive igneous rock. So intrusive igneous rock are formed from the magma that cools and solidifies within the crust of planet, surrounded by pre-existing rocks called country rock. So what is the concept of the country rock? First, I will explain about the country rock. What is about the country rock? What the country rock is all about? A country rock are those which is pre-existingly occurred there, which already been there. That is known as the your country rock. Whereas the magma which cools slowly and result is rocks coarse grain. So intrusive rock are most of the rocks are a coarse grain rock, and the mineral grain in such a rocks can generally be identified with the naked eyes. The magma cools slowly, and as a result, these rocks are coarse grain. So there is a vice versa relationship between the cooling time and the crystal grain, a crystal size. When you have a more time, or when you have a more time to crystal to solidify and get crystallized, what happened? You have uh, a more grain. The size of the crystal is a bigger. If you given the more time, if you given the more time to. Whereas the magma, which is cooled slowly, and as a result, these rocks are coarse grain. The mineral grain in such a rocks can generally be identified with the naked eyes. So intrusive igneous rock are formed from the magma that cools and solidify within the crust of planet, surrounded by pre-existing rocks. That is called as a country rock. The magma cools slowly, and as a result, these rocks can be called as a coarse grain rock. So the mineral grain in such a rock can generally be identified by the naked eye. So this is a picture which will be suggesting or explaining more about this one. So what is the intrusive rock? So when you have a magma comes from the under the surface, it is get crystallized in these layers only. It cannot get over the surface. It only crystallizes in this part only. So this is known as the intrusive igneous rock. This is known as the intrusive igneous rock. So this is an example of an intrusive igneous rock. This is an example of intrusive igneous rock. So these two are the different rock. One is known as diorite, one is known as granite. You may heard about the granite in kitchen sink and all the basins and all. We are made the tiles of the granite and all things. You already heard about the granite, but maybe not diorite. So granite, diorite, both are the intrusive igneous rock. So what is the characteristic that will be that is a more important to know about this is the intrusive igneous rock? The your crystal size, your crystal size. So crystal size is the main basic things. The crystal size is the main basic things which having a increase in a after the day, increase after the when you have a more time to have. Then you have an intrusive igneous rock. Then you have an intrusive igneous rock. So intrusive igneous rock are already explained about the intrusive igneous rock are a more crystal size is more. In intrusive igneous rock, your crystal size is more. So this one is a gabbro and pegmatite. Pegmatite is having a very large crystal. So what it suggests? The pegmatite suggests that it is having a more time to crystallize, or it crystallize in a very more good time scale it requires. So again, we come to the classification of igneous rock. So what rock is following in the geological section? You have igneous sedimentary and metamorphic rock, in which you have an intrusive rock. Intrusive rock are those rock which is comes under or form under the surface, form under the surface. That is known as your intrusive igneous rock. Okay, so intrusive igneous rock is again get classified into two different branches or two different units. One is hypabasal and one is plutonic. So you have petrology about or what is the hypabasal rock? What is the hypabasal rock? These rocks are formed at intermediate depth. These rocks are formed at intermediate depth, generally up to 2 kilometers below the Earth's surface. These rocks are formed at intermediate depth, generally up to 2 kilometers below the Earth's surface, and exhibits mixed characteristic of volcanic and plutonic. So you have a hypabasal rock where you have a more kind of what we can say the uh, more less crystal size than the intrusive or intrusive rocks. Okay, so it is comes under the intrusive igneous rock only. But hypabasal rock is the a rock which is formed under the surface, but up to 2 kilometers only. Under the surface, but up to 2 kilometers only. So these rocks are formed intermediate depth, generally up to 2 kilometers below the Earth's surface, and exhibit mixed characteristic of volcanic and plutonic. Okay, so this is an example of hyperbasal rock. You have diorite. Now you have a intrusive igneous rock. You have a intrusive igneous rock. One is extrusive, one is intrusive in igneous rock. Now you have a plutonic rock under the igneous intrusive rock. Plutonic rock. So these rocks are formed at a considerable depth, generally up to the 7 to 10 kilometers below the Earth's surface. Because of very slow rate of the cooling at this depth, coarse grain rocks are formed. Coarse grain rock are formed due to this one. So this rock are formed at a considerable depth, generally up to 7 to 10 kilometers below the Earth's surface. And because of a very slow rate of cooling at this depth, coarse grain rock are formed. This is known as the plutonic rock. This is known as plutonic rock. Then you have an intrusive igneous rock. In that one, you have plutonic rock, gabbro and pegmatite. Gabbro and pegmatite. So gabbro is again this is a plutonic rock we already seen in the previous slide, but the gabbro is having a crystal is a more rare. Then again you have intrusive igneous rock. Again you have intrusive igneous rock in which you have plutonic rocks, gabbro and hyperbasal rock, diorite. In which you have plutonic rock, gabbro and hyperbasal rock, diorite. So in igneous rock, extrusive igneous rock, it is also called as a volcanic rocks. It is also called as a volcanic rock. These rocks are formed due to the cooling and solidification of magma. These rocks are formed due to the cooling and solidification of magma at the crust surface. The magma which is brought to surface through fissure or volcanic eruption solidify at a faster rate. Hence, such rocks are smooth, crystalline, and fine grained. So, in petrology, in this one igneous rock, you have a extrusive igneous rock. The rock it is called as a volcanic rock. Okay, extrusive means above the surface. Extrusive means above the surface. So when you have a rock above the surface, when you have a rock above the surface, that rock is called as a volcanic rock. It mostly have a volcanic cones. This rock is mostly have volcanic cones. That's why it is called as a volcanic rock. So these rocks are formed due to the cooling and solidification of magma at the crust surface. The magma which is brought to the surface through the fissure or volcanic eruption solidify at a faster rate. Hence, such a rock are called as a crystalline and fine-grained rocks. So then you have a petrology. Then you have a petrology in which we are seeing or going to the volcanic rock. So volcanic rock are those rock which is formed and cool after the lava erupted from the volcano. After the lava which is erupted from the volcano. Since lava cools down very fast rate, the grain size of the crystal formed in this rock is fine. So these rocks are formed due to the cooling and solidification of lava. A cooling and solidification of lava which is erupted from the volcano. And this lava cool down very fast. So means whatever you can see, imagine what is the temperature difference between the magma and the surface. Magma surface is hardly go up to the 50, 51 at the highest level, 54 or mostly. Whereas the temperature of magma is up to 1500 to 2000 degrees Celsius. So it's a huge difference. So when that one comes on the surface, it gets quenched down. When your rock is get on the surface, it gets quenched down. So that's why it is known as the volcanic rock. This is an example of extrusive igneous rock. The name of this rock you may find obsidian or what. So this is a basalt. Okay, again this is again this one is a volcanic rock which is fine. You can found in a where you can found in a on your what on Maharashtra and MP side in the Satpura region and all. So you have most of the this one most of the Satpura range and this all the Melghat and all the area is comes under the or covered by the basalt, covered by the basalt. So this is your volcanic rocks. Then you have a basalt and diorite. In igneous rock you have a basalt and diorite. So what is the basalt and what is the diorite? So basalt is a what we can say the volcanic rock. Diorite is a not a volcanic rock. So this is what your all the igneous petrology is all about. Okay, so igneous rock is basically we classify igneous rock into the two different uh, classes. One is intrusive and one is extrusive. Okay, so you have an intrusive rock and one have a extrusive rock. Extrusive rock is just basically extrusive rock is just basically having a volcanic erupted rock. Extrusive rock is basically just have a volcanic volcanism, the rock which is formed by the volcanism. Intrusive rock is formed by the hyperbasal and plutonic. Intrusive rock is formed by the hyperbasal and plutonic. Then you have a petrology. Then you have a petrology. So in petrology, you have a igneous rock, and igneous rock is having a intrusive igneous rock, which is formed, and when it is formed, it having a porous grain structure. It having a porous grain structure. Then you have an intrusive igneous rock, which having diorite and granite, gabbro-pegmite. So this is the name of the rocks. Then you have a hyperbasal and plutonic rock. So both this rock is having a form at the subsurface, but at a this one or level. So this is the intrusive igneous rock. Then you have this is a rock basalt and this one diorite and all. So this is all about the your igneous petrology. This is all about your igneous rock and igneous petrology. Now next we will see about the next rock, which is the next rock is a sedimentary rock. The next rock is a sedimentary rock. So your sedimentary rock are those rock. Sedimentary rock are those rock which is formed by the accumulation, compaction, and consolidation. Sedimentary rocks are those rocks which is formed by the accumulation, compaction, and consolidation of sediment. The sediment are the particles produced by the distinct disintegration of pre-existing rock. The sediment are the particles produced by the disintegration of pre-existing rocks to the process of transportation and deposition by various natural agencies like wind, water, and glacier. A sedimentary rock are those which are formed by the accumulation, compaction, and consolidation of sediment. The sediment are the particle which is produced from the disintegration of pre-existing rock. So, what is the pre-existing rock? Pre-existing rock are those rock which has already been there in a nature. Okay, the pre-existing rock are those rock which has already been there in a nature. So, this one is known as the pre-existing rock. Now, in a sedimentary rock, what the process you have? In sedimentary rock, what kind of process you have? The first process is erosion. First process is a erosion. Eroded sedimentary rock, eroded sediment rocks end up with the water and begin to settle. Eroded sedimentary rock are end up with the water and begin to settle. That is known as sedimentation. With time, more layer piles up and process down the lower layer. That is known as the compaction. With the time, more layer pile up and presses down the lower layer is known as compaction. So first you have erosion takes place. First one is you have erosional process takes place, means disintegration of the rock. Disintegration of the rock, and disintegration will be uh, what we can say the uh, disintegrate the rock, eroded from one place. Then you have a compaction. Then the means once you have a layers, that layers get compacted. That layers get compacted, and after the compaction, third one your strata will be compacted. Okay, strata further compacted, and your more layers has been added. So when the more layer is added, you have a overburden pressure. More pressure in this one. Okay, that will be compacted. Then you have a salt crystal glues that layer together. Rock mass form is sedimentary. So salt crystal glue the layer together. Rock mass form is a sedimentary. So most of the things, or what we can say, the between the two layers, whatever the space is remaining there, that space will be used as a cementing place, or cementation will be carried out in that space. Carried out in that space. Okay. So after this one, now this is how your sedimentary rock is formed. This is how your sedimentary rock is formed. How sedimentary rock is formed? You have a sediment. You have a sediment that is a compacted. Compaction is going on in that sediment. Then after the compaction, the cementation is there. After the compaction, you have a cementation. So sediment get compaction, then you have a cementation, and your sedimentary rock is formed. Your sedimentary rock is formed. This is some of the best example of sedimentary rock. You can see the beautiful picture known as sandstone. The most of the monument in India and all are made up of sandstone and marble and all. Sandstone is all you can see have a pink city are there. So these all are the sandstone. Then you have a conglomerate. Okay, after the sandstone you have a conglomerate. Then you have a shale. Okay, after conglomerate you have a shale. So sedimentary rock are or sedimentary rock divided into two different parts. Sedimentary rocks are divided into two different parts. One is shale and one is limestone. One is shale and one is limestone. So the petrology is all about the clastic deposit of the rock, or sedimentary rock, which is having a, or what we can say, the clastic deposit are those deposit which is mechanically formed. The clastic deposit are those deposit which is mechanically formed. These are the formed due to the process of weathering, erosion, and transportation and deposition of pre-existing rock. So clastic rock are on those rock which is comes or which is formed due to the a mechanical process. The formation of this clastic rock is by the mechanical process. So you have rudaceous, arenaceous, and argillaceous rock. This classification basically or only the base on the basis of the your what we can say the grain size. If the grain size is more than 2 mm, if the grain size are more than 2 mm in diameter, the rock is known as rudaceous rock. If the grain size are more than 2 mm, is known as the rudaceous rock. If the grain size is between the 1 to 2 mm, it is known as the arenaceous rock. And if the grain size is less than 1 mm, is known as the argillaceous rock. So rudaceous, arenaceous, and argillaceous. This is a three different classification of the clastic sedimentary rock, not sedimentary rock. It is a classification of clastic sedimentary rock. So you have a clastic sedimentary rock looks like this one. So this is a conglomerate, and this one is a breccia. So these both are the come under the rudiaceous rock, because you can see the very large grains are there. Okay, you see large grain. You cannot see the by this scale. The scale is not there, but you can consider that this one is a very large grain. You can see by naked eyes. So this one is a large grain. So this one is known as a conglomerate, and then you have a sedimentary rock. In the sedimentary rock, you have a clastic deposit. In the sedimentary rock, you have a clastic deposit in which you have a arenaceous rock. Okay, the sedimentary rock in clastic deposit, arenaceous rock is a sandstone and grit. The sandstone and grit are the two rock, or two, what we can say, the two different type of rock which we have. Then you have a argillaceous rock. Then you have a argillaceous rock. The argillaceous rock are those rock which is having a very small grain size. Then you have a sedimentary rock which is formed by the chemical precipitation. So they are formed by the precipitation and evaporation or crystallization from the natural aqueous solution. So when the water is rich in a dissolved salt, evaporate and left behind the minerals, limestone can form when the calcite minerals dissolve in a lakes, sea and the underground water comes out of a solution and form a crystal. So how the chemical rocks are formed? When water, it is formed in the water only mostly. Na? So when there is a water, dissolved water, evaporate and left behind the mineral, that is your chemically rock. Limestone can form when the calcite mineral dissolve in a lake, sea and underground water comes of a solution and more crystal. So limestone is nothing but your calcite, CaCO3. Limestone is your calcite, CaCO3, and that one is a lake, sea and underground water. Lake, sea and underground water, that is a three different conditions, three different um, unit where you can have a limestone. So this is a limestone and this is a halite. So this is how your limestone is looks like. This is how your limestone looks like. So you have a petrology. In this one, you have again the chemical. After the chemical, this one you have organic deposit rocks. After the chemical, this rocks, you have organic deposit rock. So sedimentary rock which are formed exclusively from the remain of organism like plant, animal, and deposits in a thick layer is known as your organic deposit rocks. Coal is the best example for this one. Coal is a best example for this one. How the coal is formed. So you have a peat, or we have a very long trees, or we can say the swampy trees and all. You have a swampy trees and all. So these trees get buried after the some of the event or something like that. These trees are get buried, and because of the overlying strata, overlying bed, this trees is get converted to the your what we can say converted to the peat, converted to the peat. Then you have a lignite. Then you have a lignite. So peat, then you have a lignite, then you have a coal. So sedimentary rock are the chemical deposits. A sedimentary rock are the chemical deposits rock, which having mostly you have coal is the best example for this one. Coal is the best example for this one. Now, so you have this different type of different type of sedimentary rock. Now, third one is a metamorphic petrology. Third one is a metamorphic petrology. So, metamorphic rock are classified in only two different parts: foliated and non-foliated. So, the word metamorphism comes from the Greek word meta means change, morph means form. Meta means change, morph means form. So, change in the form is what the metamorphism is all about. Change in the form. So the metamorphism means to change form, Metamorphic rocks are those rocks that are formed as a result of transformation that takes place in the pre-existing rocks. When the pre-existing rock are subjected to the higher temperature, pressure and chemically active liquid and gases, the mineral present in the original rock changes to the new environmental condition, and that is known as your metamorphic rock. So you have a slate, you have a shale, slate, and this is a part of slate, and this is a different color is there only. This is a gneiss, which is having a banding of dark and light color. So what is the foliated rock and what is the non-foliated rock? What is the foliated rock and what is the non-foliated rock? So when the pressure squeezes or flat or elongate mineral within a rock, so they become aligned. So they become aligned after the flattening of the mineral which is present in the rock. These rocks develop a plenty or a sheet-like structure that reflect the direction that pressure was applied in. So slate, schist, gneisses are the all are the foliated metamorphic rock. So you have a slate and schist. So slate is a example of the rock, metamorphic rock. Again, the schist is also an example of metamorphic rock. Then you have a non-foliated rock. Then you have a non-foliated rock. What is the non-foliated rock? Metamorphic rock that are formed around the igneous intrusion. A non-foliated is a metamorphic rock that are formed around the igneous intrusion, where the temperature are high but the pressure are relatively low. Where the temperature is high but the pressure are relatively low and equal in all direction. Pressure is low but equal in all direction. This is an example of non-foliated rock. You may heard about the marble, Taj Mahal, and the whatever the your temple of home and whatever the sink and all are mostly the buildings and all are made up of marble. It's a very precious stone, you can say. The most of because it's looking a beautiful. Its looks are luster are very pearly one. It's look beautiful, so that's why it is in a very demand. So marble is a example, a best example. Then you have foliated. This is an example of foliated and non-foliated rock. This is a best example of foliated and non-foliated rock. Then again you have another classification: stratified, unstratified, and foliated rock. So this is a physical classification. This is a physical classification of the rock. This is a physical classification. So till now, what we have seen the what is mean by a sediment, what is the process which is having under in the sedimentary rock. So basically sedimentary rock are those rock which is formed by the erosion, transportation, weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition. So this is the four important concept or terms which is always described in the sedimentary rock. So this is a best example of the clastic sedimentary rock on a Rudasius and Brescia. So you can see this one. You can see this one. So conglomerate is the best example for this rock and Brescia also. Then you have a sedimentary rock. Then you have a sedimentary rock. So you have clastic deposits. You have a clastic deposits under the sedimentary rock. The arenaceous rock, which is known as the arenaceous rock. Why it is known as the arenaceous rock? Because the grain size of this one is below the 2 mm. The grain size below this one is 2 mm. So that's why it is a arenaceous rock. So then you have a shale or mud, and you have a shale and mud. Shale is nothing but you can say the clay stone also. You can have a clay stone, this one, and the mud stone. So both are formed by the clay. Then you have a sedimentary rock. Then you have a sedimentary rock, which is a chemical deposit rock. Chemical deposit rock means the rock which is formed by the precipitation, evaporation, and crystallization from natural aqueous solution. When water is reached in a dissolved salt, evaporate and left behind the minerals. Limestone can form When the calcite mineral dissolve in a lake, sea, and underground water, comes out of solution and form the crystal. So this is what your limestone is all about. Then you have a chemical deposited rock, that is a limestone and halite. Limestone and halite is another two rocks which is formed by the chemical deposit, or we can say the a chemical or it is formed by the chemicals precipitation. So this is what about your all the sedimentary rock. Yes, coal is another rock. So you have coal. Before that, it is goes undergoes the several what we can say the several procedure. Okay, several steps are there under this one. Then you have sedimentary rock. Sedimentary rock is a the chemical sedimentary rock are having the same thing. Then you have a metamorphic rock. So the term meta means change, morph means form. So change in the form is a change in the form is a definition for this one. The metamorphism is known as. So metamorphism is to change the form. Metamorphic rock are those rock that are formed as a result of transformation that takes place in the pre-existing rock. That takes place in the pre-existing rock. When the pre-existing rock are subjected to higher temperature, pressure, and chemically active liquid and gases, the mineral present in the original rocks change to new environmental condition. So this is what you don't have to change the entire rock. You have to just recrystallize that unit. You have to just recrystallize the unit. If you want to see the metamorphic rock, this is a slate. Maybe you are writing your homework and all during your childhood on a slate. So this is an example of this slate, what and how this slate is forms and looks like. So you have this slate, you have this slate. So color is there difference. Maybe the oxic and anoxic condition are there. Then you have a metamorphic rock. You have a metamorphic rock. So in metamorphic rock, you have gneiss. In metamorphic rock, you have a gneiss. You have you have in metamorphic rock you have a foliated rock. In metamorphic rock you have a foliated rock. When the pressure squeezes in the flat and elongate mineral within a rock, they become aligned. These rocks develop a plenty of sheets-like structure that reflect the direction that pressure was applied in. Slate, schist, and gneiss are all foliated metamorphic rock. Okay. This is your foliated rock, slate and schist and all. Then you have a non-foliated rock. Then you have a non-foliated rock. Non-foliated rock are those rock which is forms by the forms by the your process of intrusion, igneous intrusion. This is a non-foliated rock. Best example I already explained you the marble, a white marble. This is a foliated rock. This is a non-foliated rock. In foliated rock, what you can see easily, you can see the layers or dark and white bands of all this one. Dark and light, dark and light, dark and light. So this is what your all the foliated rocks is there. This is all your non-foliated. This is your foliated rocks there. Then you have a non-foliated rock. Then you have a non-foliated rock with you. So foliated or non-foliated, this is the two different rocks we have. Uh, so this is a foliated and non-foliated rocks. Whatever the rocks we studied till now, these all are the most important rocks. The three rocks, three different types of rock and processes you should know about that. And this is all about this lecture. You have your 10 MCQ question in your LMS. Kindly check your LMS so that you can have that LMS question will be there in your panel. So thank you for listening this very quietly, and if you have any problem, any doubt, you can always ask me on the whatever media you have. So So one thing is remaining that this is your multiple choice questions. This is your multiple choice. This is your multiple choice question. 10 question you have to sort out. 10 questions.